We are 11 October. It's autumn, but you should not say it because it's more like summer. The feeling in Belgium of 20 degrees in the morning, it's too much temperature, it's too dry. You see, normally the ground should be full of leaves with mushrooms between, but it's too dry, so there are very less mushrooms, and the leaves are more dry falling down than even the trees don't know really what to do with it. So that poses the important question of the warming up of the climate. And most of the people want to put their hope in the commune, in the government, in the authorities to propose resolutions and resolve that problem. But what we had to do as individuals is to don't cut trees anymore and to plant new trees. For example, this tree I put 30 years ago as just a branch in the ground. Now I cut all the lower branches to make place behind for a kind of woodland in his proportions, naturally, because it's a very little woodland. But you can see the difference in light. Also here a few trees or bushes, as it's very difficult, causing by the dryness of the summer. It has been almost tropical for Belgium, with more than 30 and flirting even 40 degrees. So it's very hard, not only for man but also for, especially for plants. So the water problem will become in the future very, very important. It's already important, but it will be one of the major problems everywhere. This is a nut tree. We have for the first time nuts. That is of a tree who grown up after the corner of as a son of this tree, or by a nut proposed by a bird. But yeah, trees is a bit strange. They are feminine and male at the same time. So how you can talk about a he or she? But for me, a nut tree, yeah, it's a bit more a male, when a typical flower tree should be more feminine, but that's very arbitrary naturally. So I talked about the water. Collecting water is very important. Here I have two containers who collect water from the gutter. I have once friends from California on visit, and they said, "Oh, but that is too big, there's no falling, too much water to fulfill a container like that." So that's, here I collect the wood I cut to dry, and naturally that is enough for the whole winter. But they can't make a lot of noise and follow me the whole way of the garden. Again, dryness all over the garden. The leaves, when you walk on it, make a... And here that's a liquid amber. That's the nice thing. He show his Indian summer colors very, very much. So trees are not only important for making a kind of microclimate to hold on the wind in the spring and in the winter, but also to take care for the privacy naturally, but also now, and it became more important, for making a shield against the sun. So I was very happy that in this hedge I let it grow in all those years to protect the house and to put a bit more shadow in the garden and on the house, so the temperature were more livable. And also it gave like a kind of impression of a little bit like it gave more atmosphere in the little alley here to walk for the people, and I hope they enjoy it as much as I enjoy it. Water, I also induced water on different little ponds or even little containers in the garden, because I'm not only thinking at myself, but on all the animals that had to live on these plates. Because most of the people say it's my garden, my house, my home, but there's a lot of other creatures who are living at the same space, and you had to share that space with them. Here this shrubs, they're called seringen in Dutch, but it's a bit like jasmine, but not really jasmine. It has been dying off, the old wood, due to the dryness, and I don't know if they will ever get the splendor again. They had a few years, it was like a carpet of light purplish, bluish flowers, but also a question, there's a lot of rhododendrons who die off, also caused of the dryness. So the warming up of the climate is already feelable and seeable. Here the tomatoes have done very well, but now I will cut them one of those days back and then make place in the little glass house for the... there's a frog. Okay, it's good. I let the door open, he can go out when it will become too warm today. Yeah, for the plants who, when it will become really cold, can pass the winter here a bit protected. Very late, but the maples who normally must get their red colors are waiting. Oh, it's still summer. Why I should begin to let coloring my leaves and let fall them out? Oh, I can still continue, I think. Oh yes, this tree we put on Easter, we bought a branch and we put it in the ground, and after 25 years it becomes like that. The biggest tree of the garden was smaller than me 25 years ago, so he has done very well. I have built a garden house, and actually a nice house for the chicken. Yeah, it's a bit an awkward form of it's not a rectangular piece of land, the garden, but it's with little pieces, corners, switches, but that's nice. You can make different corners in the so-called house chambers, but I don't follow a real plan. The first thing I did when I came here was to dig more than 300 holes for planting all the trees that must come and all the shrubs. So it seems to be, in first sight, a little bit chaotic, but it isn't. I follow a pattern. Now they say you had to have 1,000 square meters to be self-supporting for your vegetables and your fruit, but in fact you need much more. You need 10 times to be able to live from the land. So the problem with the earth is too much people. Right? We cannot say otherwise. So the humans take the place of all the other creatures on earth, the animals who are changed from their ecosystem, are violated, and I don't know how we will resolve that problem, because I will not say, okay, I will die and make place for other young people. So that are the 3 apple trees, difficult to pronounce in English. They have give apples, but they have difficulties to cope with the dryness. And water containers. Here's the other nut tree on the other side. The leaves, especially mosquitoes, they turn them away, so that's good. It's a fig I had to cut regularly down. And then an American oak. I will to cut a bit down this year with a little help from my friends. That's one of the benefits. Some plants are flowering longer. So that was a kind of roundup through my garden. I hope you enjoy it. And meanwhile, it was a bit difficult for me to reflect, to talk, to meditate. Mostly I prefer to do it sitting, but I thought it was, yes, here the green screen, they don't become much higher than that. So I hope you enjoy, because it was already a long time I made a video. So bye bye.